My name is Chris Beaumont. I'm one of the ministers here. We're working our way through the Psalms during this period of lockdown. We hope that these reflections are of some encouragement and some value to you. We're working on going to Psalm 13 today, so I'm going to read it out and then just reflect on it. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts every day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer me, O Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. My enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. The Psalms is a book full of what it means to be in relationship with God. It expresses our humanity towards God. And this psalm is a real psalm as well. This is a real expression of what we go through as human beings. It's a psalm of despair, a psalm of honesty and reality before God. If we look at verse 1, it starts, How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? And the psalmist has obviously been in a place of despair, a place where he has not found God, does not know God, and is going through a difficult situation. But he's able to voice that despair, that frustration before God now. He's crying out, how long, God? Come on, this needs to be over. And I wonder if we're going through the same thing ourselves at the moment. Are we in a place where we're just longing for this to be over, longing for the coronavirus crisis to end? And sometimes we think that it's being in relationship with God is about saying, God, it's in your hands, your will be done. But I think so often God longs for us to be honest before him. He longs for us to be real before him. He longs for us to wrestle with him. And then I think as well, the psalmist is saying in verse 2, he's saying that the impact is both in his mental health and in his heart. So he's saying his thoughts, he's wrestling with his thoughts, but he has sorrow in his heart. I don't know about you, but over these last few weeks, I've been struggling with mental health and with what I would call a kind of minor depression. I don't know why, I can't explain it, but I know that it's something that I've recognised in myself, and I just want to bring it before God, and I want to ask God to be knowing about it and to working in it and through it. And dealing with some of the things that self-isolation and lockdown has brought up. And I want to encourage you to do the same. And as we go on to verse 3, it says, Look on me and answer me, O Lord my God. And it's talking about, my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. And there's something about God's reputation being on the line as we invite him into the situation we find ourselves in. I'm just reminded of Abraham at the Oaks of Mamre, who bargains with God, Jacob who wrestles with God, Moses who insists God is present. And so often I think, as I said, we think saying your will be done is holy, but actually I think there's a bigger thing of God wanting us to wrestle and call him out on his faithfulness and say, God, you promised to be faithful, so I need you to be in this. And I think that honours God as much as anything else. And lastly it says, but I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. And so we come to that place of having faith in God no matter what circumstances we face. It may be that we feel like we're in a place where there is no hope, but yet we know God is totally faithful, totally trustworthy, and we need to hang on to that. The last verse says, I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. And I think there's two things here. I will sing, so we need to be a people of praise in the midst of darkness, in the midst of despair, saying, God, you are good, your name endures forever, you're loving and kind, because ultimately that changes how we think and how we behave. And secondly, for he has been good to me. It's about remembering what God has done in the past, holding on to the things that he's done in our lives already that prove his character, his nature, his faithfulness, his trustworthiness. So I hope these just few thoughts have been good reflections for you. I pray that you would keep your head up, keep praising God, keep faithful, even in the midst of darkness and despair. And hopefully we will come out at the end of this stronger and more like Jesus than when we went in. Bless you. Have a great week.